Hi folks, Sam Habart for Test Driven TV. Now you've probably heard the term crossover so many times around the water cooler or at dinner with your family and friends. You're probably wondering, what the hell is this crossover business? After all, that term has been used for everything from a Subaru Impreza all the way up to a Ford Explorer. Just what the heck is a crossover? Well, here we've got a 2014 Toyota Venza, and in my opinion, nothing falls squarely in the crosshairs of crossover than this vehicle. It's almost exactly 50% car and SUV. So let's see what living with one is all about. The Venza, first introduced for 2009, got a facelift last year, giving it a bolder and crisper grille up front and new headlamps with AWD daytime running lights. With larger-than-life 20-inch wheels, this crossover has always been a styling statement. It has a handsome roofline and rear view treatments, including dual exhaust with our V6 Limited model. The rear liftgate is power opening and closing, and there's a rear view camera tucked up underneath there too. The interior of the Venza is spacious and feature-packed in the top trim grade. You get power heated leather seats for both the driver and passenger, but not ventilated. Memory settings for the driver are a nice touch, and the seat offers an easy exit feature where it slides back at power off. From behind the wheel, the Venza feels like something a little bit different. Imagine if you took a Toyota Prius and scaled it up about 20%. That's almost exactly the look and sensation you get from behind the wheel. Another way to look at it, take a Toyota Sienna minivan, flatten it a bit, shorten it a bit, and once again, same sensation you get from behind the wheel. But the feeling and sensation that you don't get, it does not feel like an SUV. Getting comfortable and familiar with the controls was easy. The Limited is equipped with a JBL touchscreen audio system with navigation and the Entune smartphone app suite. Included dual zone climate control offers up good service with an easy to use interface as well. There's a few areas of the cockpit here that I need to talk about. The first thing when I got in this vehicle that I really noticed was this interior design. I have got several finishes and patterns all in one spot here. There's this sort of papyrus paper sort of finish over here on the door panel, on the dash, on the console. And then there's this other finish here, and then there's a finish next to it that's different still. Here I've got another one. The steering wheel has a different finish here, then I've got another, and then I've got a brushed finish here. Then over here we've got like 3 different things going on. There's almost like 10 or 11 different patterns and finishes and sheens going on, all right here in this space. It just seems like there wasn't a lot of consistency put together when this thing was designed. The other thing that really strikes me and surprises me for Toyota is the fit and finish in here. I've got big gaps around the radio. I have 0 gaps around this trim piece. As I go down here between the console and the dash, there's a variation of different size gaps where these pieces are fitting together. It's just really not up to Toyota standards based on other vehicles I've spent time in from them. I will say some good stuff about this infotainment center. The touchscreen system, same thing that they use in a lot of their other vehicles. I think it works very well, responds well to your touch, and of course the nav system is very easy to use. It is the top level JBL sound system for Toyota, and in this vehicle it actually sounds pretty good. Our tester was equipped with a full panoramic sunroof, but the actual interior openings don't take full advantage of it, rather giving a dual sunroof effect. The leather seating surfaces seemed a little less than luxurious, both in look and feel, than I expected for its $41,000 price tag. The back seat of the Venza is plenty roomy because this is based on a pretty large architecture for Toyota. There's lots of legroom back here, plenty of headroom, even with this large panoramic sunroof above me. The only thing I'd say is because this is not a true SUV where you have high seating position, you can see here my knees are sort of raised, seats sitting down low. On a long trip that might be uncomfortable. On the positive, there are plenty of places to store things away. The console has a map pocket on the passenger side, and there's also a slick second glove box on the driver's side. The rear cargo area is plentiful in depth and can be expanded well by folding down the rear seats. The Venza Limited came equipped with Toyota's venerable VVTi 3.5-liter V6 engine, which delivers power through a smooth shifting 6-speed automatic transmission. It's rated at 18 miles per gallon city, 25 miles per gallon highway with a 21 mile per gallon combined rating. The 3.5-liter V6 with its 268 horsepower actually offers a pretty good amount of punch for the Venza. If you get the 4-cylinder, it has a little bit less power and you might get a little bit better fuel economy. With this, we've been averaging about 22.5 miles per gallon for the week combined city and highway, which really isn't too bad considering that this thing's a pretty heavy vehicle and it has all-wheel drive. With low ground clearance and large 20-inch wheels, the Venza is not aimed at doing much off-road driving, instead tailored more for paved roads in town and highway ventures. As far as handling goes, the Venza is actually a little bit of a compromise. Usually when you have an SUV, you expect handling to be not that good because they weigh a lot and they have a high center of gravity. When you get into a car-based crossover, the expectation is usually that you're going to get sharper, more car-like handling. But unfortunately with the Venza here, I find that the steering is actually sort of slow and it doesn't have a very good response. And even though this thing does have these really large tires and wheels, they don't seem to offer up the kind of grip you might think they would on these curves. And they also sort of give you a rough ride because they do have low profile tires on them. Overall though, this thing still weighs a lot and it drives a lot like an SUV, hold for the high center of gravity. The chassis is, however, solid and quiet in most endeavors, but the low-profile tires and relatively heavy 20-inch wheels do give a good thump into the cabin over potholes, tar strips, and over pavement irregularities. As I've been spending time this week with the Venza, one of the things that strikes me most is that at its price of around $41,000 as this one's equipped, I think there's a lot of features missing that you might find in competitors at the same price. While I don't necessarily like the features, a lot of the radar cruise control, the driving aids like lane keeping assistance and things like that are missing. And at this price tag, I think that, most of your competitors, you might find those features in there. Well folks, as we wrap this up, I think the Venza is starting to show its age just a little bit. It's been out for a few years. A lot of competitors have come along that I think do the crossover thing just a little bit better and for a little bit better value. So this week we give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'm Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. I hope you enjoyed the ride. If you'd like a more detailed review and photo galleries, log on to activityvehicle.com.